everybody. This is Dan Jones. We're coming at you on a Sunday, and I would like to extend greetings of peace to everyone. And thanks for the recent comments that everyone has left on my videos. I really do appreciate it. Even when it's negative, I appreciate it. Real quick, since we have witnessed the burial of Hadiah Pendleton, rest in peace to her, there have been some very interesting videos in reference to Michelle Obama going to the funeral. And, while I have not been critical of her in the past, I have said a few comments about her and her unwillingness or inability to use her bully pulpit and her position of esteem as a first lady to shed light on situations that are affecting disenfranchised people in this land, and I'm talking about African Americans, when she comes from. Now, you have some people that will use ad hominem arguments and say, and present red herrings to sort of get you off the path of what you're trying to say, or detract other people from what you're trying to get across. But since this is Black History Month, I figured I would do a very short video, and I will entitle this Courage Over Politics. And in this video, I'm going to talk about a person that wasn't even Black. I'm going to talk about a real First Lady, or all of them have been real First Ladies, but a First Lady that really led with courage instead of the politics of her husband or the politics of her particular party that she belonged to at the time. I'm talking about one Eleanor Roosevelt, who was born in 1884 and died in 1962. Many of you need to really be thankful to Eleanor Roosevelt and people like her, both white and Black, because Eleanor Roosevelt came from a very wealthy family. She did not have to speak up for Black rights at all. And she was such a wealthy person that she didn't even know the disparities and she didn't even know the Black people's plot until her husband became president during his first year, because some people are just so detached from reality with their wealth. But here's what she did. When her husband became president, and her husband was Roosevelt, FDR, she traveled 40,000 miles the first year of her husband's presidency. Now, mind you, back in those days, it wasn't like Air Force One and all that. But what she did was she was traveling to promote the New Deal and better housing and economic situations for poor Americans, mainly white people. But along her travels, she ran into a lot of Black people. And that opened her eyes. One of the first things she tried to do publicly for Black people, now mind you, this is not a mandate she was given. It was basically political suicide to do this. But she lobbied the Subsistence Homestead Administration to allow Black people to get subsistence housing, or the first form of what we now know as Section 8. She was not successful in that. But she didn't quit right there. She went and met with Walter Little of the NAACP, who was the head at that time. And she sat down with these people and said, you know what? Teach me about Black people. Tell me your concerns. Show me what needs. Show me how I can use my little bully pulpit over here and my position as the First Lady of America to help Black people out. So it went on, and in the late 30s, 38, 39, not only did she fight for Black people, she actually presented legislation to combat lynchings of Black people. Now, mind you, this was very, very, very fought against by white people. they were vehemently opposed to what Eleanor Roosevelt was doing. Death threats. I mean, this was at a time when presidents could walk through people and nobody would worry about them being so much assassinated. But this woman needed a Secret Service detail bodyguards because of her wanting to help black people. She presented successful legislation in Congress to penalize lynching of black people. Now, this is very important because this is the spearhead of civil rights before civil rights was even an issue in America, really. One of the things that she did in that same year, or around about that time frame, when the Daughters of the American Revolution refused the black opera singer Mary Anderson from performing at one of their functions, she said, you know what? If you can't let this black woman sing, I'm going to withdraw my membership. She did that. That took courage because it was against all conventional wisdom to speak against the status quo. And let us not forget the things that she did for the military, but it transcends the military because by her demonstrating that black people and her fighting for black men to be admitted into first the Navy mess hall details, black men to be admitted into combat units, and let us not forget, I would be remiss if I did not mention her fight for the Tuskegee Airmen to go and fight Aryanism via Hitler overseas in Europe. Even taking a flight with a black man in Tuskegee, Alabama, to prove that she not only trusts black people, but she entrusts her life to a black man. Now, some of you may think that I'm coming off like I'm indebted to some white woman. I'm not coming off like that. But what I'm trying to paint a picture of is sometimes you have to put political correctness aside and just use courage. And even when her husband left office and legislation was finally passed to end segregation in the military by Harry Truman in 1948, it was because of who she aligned herself with in the military, like General Doolittle and men like that forced him to finally say, you know what, if this woman has put all her weight behind these people, something got to be right about her. So that opened up many doors for black people to be employed during World War II. See, all these things were vital because had she not pushed initially for the military people to be admitted, then white people would not have opened their doors for black females to work in factories, black men to get jobs up north. All these things were spearheaded by several people, but she was at the forefront of all of that. So I say that to say this. It was no big deal that Michelle Obama went to Hadiah Pendleton's funeral, because look at all the things that she could have done in the meantime while her husband has been the president of the United States. And I know she was trying to get kids to start eating healthy during lunchtime and all this stuff like that, but that's the job of parents, man. And even that endeavor, she's up. From what I heard, abandoned. So that's what a real first lady does. It takes courage to speak up. And like I said in a comment the other day, if Hadiah Pendleton would have been shot in October, September, August of last year, you would have not heard a word. She could have been shot on his front door in Hyde Park. For putting politics over courage, neither a word has been said about it in fear of jeopardizing his re-election. And it is what it is. You can't say I'm lying. You can't deconstruct what I'm saying. It is what it is. In the words of 5723 Michael. Peace.